Everyone, this is Shant, and this is the first lesson of the stars pattern series. Okay, we're gonna deal today with the stars pattern number 30, which is this one. Let me check it for it. Which is the simplest one in all the patterns we got. First of all, as you remember in the introduction, why it's writing the design stars pattern is very important, because if you are a beginner, you are gonna start coding without thinking about planning. So we're gonna learn in this series how to see the problems, how to check the flow of the stars design pattern, and how we're gonna solve the problems, understanding them, writing them, and try to write another code which will be better. So if you enter this series of stars patterns lecture, you are going to start understanding the solid principle of Java. So the most important thing that we are going to learn today is how to plan it and understand how to solve the issues that we're gonna face it. And the last thing that it's very, very important, I will turn you from beginner to an intermediate level. But the most important thing here, you have to have the knowledge about the Java primitive types and the loops in Java. Okay, so let's get started understanding how it's going on. So as just a beginner, I can understand, just a second, that we have 5 stars and 5 times repeated. And all my students, when I gave them this pattern, they start just very simple way, which is let me do it. Okay, let me write it down. So most of the starters, they will start to just writing like this and repeat it 5 times. Okay, so let me run this. Yeah, great, we got the result as we expected, as in the same design. But having a result, even if it's right, it doesn't mean that our code is built in the principles and in the right best practice way. So let's check our code and understand what's wrong in it. First of all, repeating the same issue is a violation of the solid principle, which is called dry. Dry, it means do not repeat yourself, and we repeated it ourselves 5 times. So to solve this problem, I think, let's see the problem here. Okay, let me clear this. If we having repeating something more than one time, it means that we can use a loop system of Java. Loop, it means that we can write one, let's say, and repeat it 5 times and not repeating the same code. So for this section, as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna use our for loop with the int I, which will start from 0 till we say our I is less than 5. Okay, so let's write down and try to solve this small issue by writing once this part and repeat it 5 times in a loop with using the for. Okay, let's go this and fix the first of all this problem. So we're gonna delete this section and we're gonna add for int I is 0. I want to loop until my I is get less than 5 and not equal to 5, and every time when the condition is not ready to be get false and broken, I want to add a value, one value to my I integer. So here I guess we've solved the problem. We write just one time system out with 5 stars, and we're gonna loop it on it 5 times. So this section we're not gonna write it again. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me clean this, guys, please. So let's go there and try to run this. This is the old one, okay, as system out print. So this is the new one. Let's shoot it. Okay, we got the same result with less code. We didn't repeat the system out print 5 times, guys. Okay, we've just write it once, and we cleaned this issue, which is not good in coding, because you don't need to repeat yourself. So we write it here once and looped on it 5 times. So let's understand something. So when we're using I, it's responsible for this section, right? This is the I section. When I is 0, we print it once. When I get 1, we print the second line, 3 and 4. We don't use the 5 because we told him that I break when I is still not small than 5. So when we reach I plus 5, it means that 5 can't be less than 5. So this is a false, right? And we have a break the loop, right? So we write down here the system out print with 5 stars together, and we looped on it. We didn't write this section anymore. So this is the right way to write it, but still we have a violation here, because our code using repeating the same stars again 5 times. So what do you need? What we need for this? Because we write it once and loop on it 5 times, we can do the same with the star. Like we can write 1 star and loop every time 5 times to draw another star. So we need another 4 for this issue. Okay, so what kind of 4 we needed? Let me explain it if you don't know the difference between for and nested for or nested loop. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this like for I again, and I'm gonna, because we thought this is violation, we need to write it once. So let's go and here and give it this another 1 5 for the another loop, and we run it. So when we run it, we are definitely very far away from our expected design. So we need another mechanism where we can make these 5 stars can be printed, and after that we can have another line, so we can have our design pattern, which is number 30, is done. So let's go ahead and understand that section. What we do mean with 2 loops? There are something called nested loops. Nested loop. This means you have 2 loops, which one is responsible for the new lines, and the second one is responsible for the drawing the stars. Okay, but what is the nested loop? Nested loop is to have a loop, another loop in another loop. Like we have a 4 with int I, and inside the 4, not outside the 4, as you can see here, we write it down outside. So the first 4 is ending here, the second 4 is starting and ending here. This is not a nested. This 4 is individual, this one another individual, is not nested. So to have it nested together, we need to write another 4 inside the 4. Okay, so let me cut this. So what will happen here and what we are our expectation? As you can see that our 4 is starting here, ending here, but the first 4 is starting here and ending here, which included the second 4, which called nested 4. So what the idea, what the deal? So let's go and understand it fully. Okay, so consider that the I is me, and the nested one, which is J, is you. So we have 2 4s. One is I, and inside the I we have the J nested 4. So let's figure out what's going on. Consider we have a building here. I'm sorry for my drawing. And the building is consists of 5 floors. Okay, this is the 0 floor, the first floor, second floor, third, and the fourth floor. Okay, so, and considering that we have rooms inside every floor, which in this case is 5 rooms in it, every floor. Okay, so let's consider this is the 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the same 0, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So if I is me, I'm coming to this building as I, because I'm looping, my I is 0, so I'm here. When the I's turn into number 1, I'm sorry, this means that I came to this floor. When it's the second, it means that I came to this floor, and so on. Okay, I'm gonna run this till I reach the I is less than 5, because there is no 5th floor. Number 5 floor, I'm sorry, it's 5 floors, but number 5 floor, it doesn't exist here. So when I come as an I and you are with me as a J, the J is here is level 0. Okay, so what's going on here? The main principle is going on that I should, because we are nested, I should wait for you till you get inside the building and start getting inside the rooms, the 5 rooms, and getting out, 5 rooms and getting out, and you, when you finish, you come back, then I can go to the first floor and you should come with me because you are nested. So here as I should wait again till the J get inside the building for and check the first, second, third, fourth, and 5th rooms and get out. So this is the principle of nested fourth or nested loops. Okay, so I wish I was clear and you can understand what is going on here. So let me just understand what's going on. So if I have, okay, so if I have this loops, I have the I loop inside the J. So I is 0, if I is 0, will go after the I is started, will come to here. Okay, so this time the J is 0. So the I will wait until this loop finishing its loops, and after that we're gonna come back to the main for, which is the first for, which is I is 0. So J is now 0, let's say. J will turn to 1, J will turn 2, J will be 3, J will be 4, till J is 5, and 5 can't be less than 5, so it's false, so it's gonna break the loop. After they break the loop, Java will check that, oh well, it's not finished. The I is still 0, and I have a condition here which says you have to loop again. So then I will return into 1, and again we'll come to the second for, which is the nested. So I will wait to J to pass again this section again, and after that we'll come back, and Java will complain about it, say, okay, just a second, the I is still 1, we have to go it 5 times. So in this way we can fix our problem. So let me run this and understand what the problem is going on. Oh, so we have all the stars are printed in each other, but what's the problem? As we can see, as we can see here, that our star, which is responsible, the J is responsible, is writing next to each other. So we need to system out printed. Just printing, it means that it will print it and still keep printing without going to a new line. After the J finish its loops, then the I, which is responsible, we should tell them to use the print ln to get for a new line. Ln, it means that after printing, the second print which come after the print will be in a new line new. So let's get and fix this one together too. So this one must be print. Let me try it. Yeah, great. Now we have all the stars next to each other because we are using the print and we are not using print ln. So in this case we have this problem that every time the J finishes job looping on the stars, we have, before we start looping, telling the I to loop again to give us a new line. So we need to use the print ln. So where is ending the J loop? It's ending on this section. So after this I should add the print ln without anything, because I don't want it to print anything. So let me run this. Let's see what we got here. Yes, great. We had what we was expecting, that we have 5 stars on 5 lines by using just one star printing. So we fixed our first star pattern problem, and we started from as a beginner, and we find the problems and we fixed all the problems. So we had this pattern designed as we were expecting here, and more best practice way than we've done it on the beginning. So guys, I wish that I was clear, and if you think that this lecture helped you to learn something new and you would like to refer to your friends that can they benefit again, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the ring button, and thank you for watching.